Team 7, none.
All right. Hands are either back here. They're not in your pockets. Your shoulders are up. You're proud. You guys have worked really hard on this robot, and this is your chance to show them who's behind, the brains behind this thing. Okay? All right.
Hi, we are Team Aluminum Sharks, and I'm Abby.
I'm Wesley.
I'm Emmett.
I'm Selena.
I'm Gus.
I'm Isabella. Hello.
Gus, you gotta practice if you're practicing.
From.
From Albemarle High School and mostly the basic program.
All right. Stop.
Okay.
All right. How are you gonna say
What I'm
that?
supposed to say that?
How are you gonna say that?
Real quickly, flashbacks. Where are they?
One thing that I saw that was really cute that another team did was they stood up and they said together, "Hi, we're the," or they said, "Hi, I'm Abby, I'm da da da. We're the Aluminum Sharks," and they said Aluminum Sharks all together. You don't like that?
That'd be great, but we're not gonna. I'm not going
Okay, that's fine. But someone has to say, "We're from Albemarle High School
I could say
in
some of us
Charlottesville,
also are.
Virginia."
And we are so excited.
Some of us are participants in the basic program as well.
Yeah.
Because then
Should we say that?
I'm so sorry.
Many of us are participants in the Mesa Pro. You could even bring in, this is our first year, and you could say
Yeah.
anything like that.
And if you do mention the MESA program, then you should probably note that it's one of our main sponsors because that's something that we're supposed to involve.
Let's get are we getting complicated?
Okay.
Aren't we? Keep it simple.
Really
Okay.
just 20-minute
Hi, we are
introduction.
the Team Aluminum Sharks. We're from Charlottesville, Virginia, and from Albemarle High School. I'm Abby.
I'm Wesley.
I'm Emmett.
I'm Gus.
I'm Selena.
I'm Isabella.
I'm Will.
Alright, so we have our amazing robot here. I would like to talk about the most important part of it, which is the block picking up device. We have our arm here. Its length allows it to go up and hang and drop blocks in and still stay in the height limits.
I think all we're doing is like raise it up or whatever.
Well, you can't really because the motors make it hard to
4 by
turn.
2 figures.
Yeah.
Alright. Now, because our Tektronix pieces weren't complex enough to make a good scoop, we 3D printed our own. That way, the slope would be just right to get the blocks on.
Break. This is when you would step up and you would.
I think we're going to talk about that in the robot.
Who's going to show off the 3D printer design?
Yeah, I was going to talk about because it's part of our progression.
Okay, then go.
Well, I don't know. I guess we can talk about our physical.
Keep looking right in the eyes. Right in the eyes.
Or at least right over my head. If you're not
Yeah,
comfortable in the eyes,
or-
go over my head.
If you can
Well, yeah.
focus your eyes, well, what I would almost recommend is you, at least when I talk to people, I don't
Oh,
focus
so
my
you
eyes.
really do want eye contact. You got it.
Just testing.
But can you point out to me if you think I'm looking at you, or if you because I have a lazy
Okay,
eye,
got
so I'm a little weird, but like.
One eye is looking right at me.
All right. Well, yeah, okay. When I'm talking, you'll just watch me. I might not watch
I
you.
want you to start over.
From the beginning.
Was I guess you can talk about the stage.
Hey, Gus.
No.
Alright.
Hi, we are the Aluminum Sharks from Charlottesville, Virginia, and we are all members of Albemarle High School, and many of us are part of the MESA program, the Math, Engineering, and Science Academy. I'm Abby.
I'm Wesley.
I'm Emmett.
I'm Gus.
I'm Selena.
I'm Isabella.
I'm Will.
Reason is here in spirit.
Alright, so starting off with our amazing robot, we have our attachment, our arm attachment for picking up blocks. It has a 3D printed scoop because Tetric parts aren't the best for such things.
It has a 3D printed scoop that we designed.
Okay.
And you can,
Do it again.
From the beginning.
Yep.
I'm Gus.
Oh,
Because by the time you've done this 10 times, there'll be nothing to it.
Yeah.
No,
Go.
the beginning will have nothing to it. The end we'll have no practice with.
hi, we are the
You want me to take that and you can go in the other room?
I said go for it.
No.
Okay.
No.
Hi, we're the Aluminum Sharks from Charlottesville, Virginia, and we're all members of Albemarle High School, and most of us are part of the MESA program, which is the Math, Engineering, and Science Academy. I'm Abby.
I'm Wesley.
I'm Emmett.
I'm Gus.
I'm Selena.
I'm Isabella.
I'm Will.
I'm Reason.
Alright, next, starting off with our amazing robot, we have our arm and scoop attachments. We have a 3D printed scoop because we wanted to design it ourselves. Now, we used plexiglass as a surface here because it was lighter than the metal and it was large enough. Now, the gears we have here, we use those to power down or speed down the arm and power up the motors so we don't wear them away from picking up such a long extension.
And that would be when someone, so he doesn't have that awkward silence, someone else step up so that he doesn't leave it hanging. What?
Also, you should talk about how
That's
we
walkers.
actually like drop blocks and then stuff. We pick it up here and then it like falls down.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that the scoop you printed has that little lip on it so the box can't fall out.
Is that in your notes?
I think so.
Okay, it's okay while we practice this to glance down at your notes.
Alright.
Okay. Do you want to step back and then whoever's next?
Abby Walker.
So he's gonna
So,
finish.
who's after Walker?
Me.
I'm not walking.
Okay.
Okay, so when I come, so one really unique thing about our process in building this robot was how the robot has changed over
Can you do me
the
a favor?
course.
Can you go back instead of saying neat? Could you say unique?
Alright, so sorry. So one really unique thing about the production process of building of this robot was how it changed over the course of the year. So the first stage in our robot production process was learning how to use the different parts. As you can see in this picture, we just built the robots out of the Tetrix books that go through and explain exactly how to build the different types of robots. And during the stage, we learned how to use the various wheels and screws and other parts. And then stage 2, we started identifying the different things that we would need to have on top of the robot in order to complete the challenge. And one thing was a way to pick up the blocks. And so the thing we started developing was different types of claws, as you can see in this picture, to pick up the different blocks. And we built those
Abby,
out.
do me a favor. Every now and then, I want you to take a breath and breathe back out again, because that'll slow you down. And it'll also allow you to stop and get comfortable with what you're doing. Just keep going. Just every now and then when you breathe.
Also, you should say at the beginning when you're like relearning all the parts and stuff, say it feels good and do some.
Okay.
You have to drop that.
Even in the very first introduction, say we're a rookie team from
Yeah.
Alamo High School.
Ooh, yeah, we're a rookie team.
Does it start again?
No.
Do you want to start? Because she has a lot. She has a lot to say in there. Do you want to start back at stage 2?
Sure.
Okay.
Are we taking? Like, I feel like this is like how.
We're practicing, so it's going to take a lot longer.
Okay, yeah. Alright. Okay. So stage 2, we decided that we were trying to decide what we needed to add on to this basic robot in order to complete the challenge. And one thing was some device to pick up the different blocks. And so the first thing we developed were the different types of claws to pick up the blocks with. And we built these out of simple Lego parts, which we were all very familiar with and were easy to work with, and prototype the different designs. And then another thing we realized that we would need to be able to do in order to complete the challenge was the robot would need to be able to extend in some way. And so for this, we worked on different devices that would enable us to extend the robot. One of these very first extending devices was, as you can see in this picture, was a device that with a wheel that pushed one of, what are these, like, metal pieces called?
Yeah, you
Channels.
Have to be really specific in your vocabulary.
You
They're
can
called
say
what?
it's like a-
They're called channels
Channels.
officially.
Okay. Where a wheel pushed a channel that was in between two channels, which was wedged between two channels on either side out. This only extended about half a foot, but it gave us a basis for designing future extending devices in the future.
There are some really natural breaks in what you're saying. And if you took a breath during those natural breaks, you'll slow down and never use the word You're doing a great job. I'm just catching all the little things. Okay.
Another thing in the extending process was we learned about drawer slides. Some of the members of the other team had used the drawer slides the previous year, and as you can see in this picture, they're giving us a lesson on how the different drawer slides work and how they can be implemented in a robot. And in this picture, this is a picture of where we actually developed a drawer slide extending device where it could extend based on a string that was being pulled, and the thing would extend because of that.
The what would extend?
Drawer slide. So we combined these two different. Okay, so we combined these two, the claw and the extending devices, to create this final robot in this picture. And this robot, we converted the Lego claws into a metal claw that would extend and come back in using the drawer slides that we learned how to use here. And this final, and
It's okay, take a deep breath. It's all right. You're practicing.
okay. Can we just start over for the
Yeah, of course.
So this is our stage 4, and where we combine the two things where we learned about how to make the claws and the extendable devices here to create a claw with the metal Tetrix pieces that worked using the extendable drawer slide that we learned about right here.
You're good. I'm talking to them.
Okay. So, and then this robot merged into one of our closer to being final robots, as you can see in this picture. And this stage 5 robot we decided that a claw would be too difficult to pick up the blocks with. So we decided to try a tray instead. And this tray would be raised based on a principle of a dual arm device that would keep the tray level all the time. And this base also was based off of other learning in the earlier gear production.
You know what I'm wondering is if you've given yourself too much to say, and you've complicated things and it's kind of stressed you out. I wonder if there's a way you could consolidate some of that information so that it doesn't look like everything's fallen on you. Because that's what it's looking like to me right now. If I were a judge, I'd be saying, this person is having to do all the talking. So is there a way to consolidate and say, the most important thing about stage 1, this is what I want to say. The most important thing about stage 2 is this. Could you bring it, that might even simplify things for you.
Because you only have 10 or 15 minutes really
Yeah.
to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
So you've just been talking for 5 or 10 minutes yourself, it seems like. And
Yeah,
so even
that's-
just, we started with this, and the most important thing was this. And then we thought we needed to do that. I mean, you should be done in a minute or two if you're.
It has been about 5 minutes at this point that you've been talking.
Yeah, I
A
know.
lot less detail.
That's-
And they may ask questions, and they say, well, why did you do that? And then you can go into the detail. So-
It's also possible to give the detail that you want to in your captions for your pictures. Use graphics. So they're listening to you, but they're also looking at your visuals, and they're making the connections by listening to you, and then the other details get filled in by what they're reading here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And so
You've got it all here, you just need captions.
I don't know if you're familiar with the process, so there will be 4 or 5 judging sessions in parallel. So only a fourth or a fifth of the judges will see this presentation. But then in the pits, all of the judges will come by. So you'll have the opportunity to talk with judges, and informally they may just say, what's this picture? Or what happened here? And then you can just talk informally about it without having to be this high stress, rehearsed thing.
I had no idea they walked through the pits and talked, that took some pressure off.
So
But most of the judges won't see this presentation. Only a fourth of them will.
can me and Emmett go real quickly, and then because I have to run down in a minute. And pick up
Right,
the
so
kids.
Abby, what would be the last thing that you would say that would cue them?
Well,
Or
then
Walker.
Emmett would go through his robot progression.
Okay, so what would be your last sentence?
I don't
So that he knows. You don't
The
know,
last
okay, that's
sentence
fine.
would be, and now Emmett will talk about the other part
Yeah,
of the robot.
that would be perfect. So say that part for us, Abby, I know you're exhausted.
And now Emmett will talk about the other part of the robot.